Predictive analytics is the new IT topic, and it's going to help us understand human behavior better. But what is predictive analytics? Well, think about Netflix. You may wonder, how does my Netflix account know which recommendations to populate for me? Well, it does this by using an algorithm based on your previous user history. Then it tells you, hey, you like Criminal Minds, you'll probably like NCIS too. This algorithm uses big data and continuously compiles data to help us determine which outcomes are going to happen based on human behavior. And it's so large and complex that it's said to be incapable of humans to interpret the data, which is why we need machines. But why am I talking to you today about predictive analytics? Well, the reason why is because of its application in social science fields like advertising, healthcare, and child welfare to make better decisions about our clients. So it's said that machine decisions are better than human decisions because humans are prone to subjective biases. Decision-making, in particular in child welfare, is very complex and challenging because of the myriad components to a child welfare case that influence decision-makers. Now, these can have drastic effects on our families because decision-makers can be prone to subjective biases. So, we ask the question, can predictive models help us make better decisions? The Florida Department of Children and Families and the Florida Institute for Child Welfare wanted to answer this question using a predictive analytic model in our child protective investigators. We used the pre-commencement activities of these investigators, which are their case planning, they're going out and finding facts about the cases, and they're meeting with their supervisors to determine if those pre-commencement activities will be better with the use of a predictive analytic model. So, we did this by looking at their workload, their efficacy and confidence, and this idea of chronic remaltreatment among our child welfare families. And we wanted to know in what ways can a predictive model enhance child protective services. We used both formative and summative evaluations to answer this question. Now, unfortunately, our evaluation was terminated after 3 months, so we were unable to determine the effectiveness of the model. But we did find two interesting results in our formative evaluation. One, that the technical use of the model was difficult and it was hard to access the model, and that the case representations didn't actually present child remaltreatment or chronicity in the way that we had hoped. Now, there were two strengths of the model based on our summative findings, and that was that this model was able to pull case histories, which was great, and it was also able to make connections between cases and case profiles. And this all helps our child protective investigators point to the more salient components of a case, which is great. But there was one potentially problematic finding, and that was that at least one respondent had indicated that the predictive model used case characteristics such as race and income to make decisions about the case, such as this case is more risky for maltreatment. Now, this is important because of the potential for models, these predictive models, to perpetuate latent biases. So we continuously asked ourselves throughout the evaluation, is this model actually identifying cases that are at risk, true risk, or is it perpetuating these biases? For example, Google had indicated that they had used a model to look at beauty and judging beauty contests, but they used previous winners to train this model. Now, previous winners had almost exclusively been white, so while the model was not inherently biased, the data were, which perpetuated this idea that white was more beautiful. This is very salient for child welfare because of the disparity in the child welfare system that suggests that Black children, particularly in Florida, are disproportionately more likely to be removed from their homes, to re-enter the system, and to age out of the system. So we must ask the question, are these models perpetuating these latent biases, or are they attesting to true risk. Thank you.